Still a good 20 or so yards away, thank goodness. Then back at Cooper. We were sort of friends, as in we shared a history class where we'd been partnered together for a project, and had hung out during one summer at the lake a few years ago, when he was just a scrawny guy who spouted a lot of facts about the stars. I'd once been his rowing partner during a trip across the lake, but that was mostly by default, since my former BF, not F, convinced me to go with him so she could be alone with Donovan Lawson. I twirled the end of my ponytail around my finger, noticing the tips of my brown hair were lightening thanks to the past few weeks of sunshine. So you can tell that I couldn't even say it aloud for fear someone else would hear, even as I looked around to confirm we were alone. I lowered my voice to a whisper. Do you think he's noticed? Cooper moved to sit on the parking curb next to me, bumping his hip into mine when there wasn't enough room. The guy had boundary issues, obviously. I scooted over, though, anxious to hear his answer.
He's probably noticed,
he said, leaning back on his palms and tipping his face to the sun. Of course, he was still blocking half my access. My cheeks heated, and I groaned, fighting the urge to look over at Mick again. Then I sighed, my entire body deflating. That means he would have done something about it if he were actually interested.
Not necessarily.
I waited for more, but Cooper just sat there, the sun lighting up his mop of dirty blonde, slightly out of control wavy hair. Explain.
He
shot me a sidelong glance and shook his head.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
The urge to storm away was strong, but that wouldn't help with my goal to win over Mick this semester. If I worked fast enough, maybe we could even go to prom together. After all, I'd been talked into being on the decorating committee, and it'd be so sad to decorate but not attend. The image of the two of us entering a decorated gym, me in a sparkly dress and Mick sporting a dapper tux and his trademark sexy smirk hit me, and longing rose up. Wait, do people say dapper anymore? Well, it was my imaginary dream prom. He could look dapper, and the more I thought about it, the stronger the longing grew. That's it. No more being passive and waiting for it to magically happen. I'm going to make it happen. And I had just about 2 months to do it, which meant I needed to get started ASAP. Since I was already swimming in maximum embarrassment level, I decided to dive right in and see how big of a challenge I was in for. Spill now, I said, or leave my perch. Cooper arched an eyebrow. Just as I was about to give him a shove and reclaim my curb, he gave a resigned sigh and said,
It might not be that he's completely uninterested. You're a pretty girl and all. You just come across as a chick who wants a serious thing.
I frowned. That's probably because I do.
I know, and it shows.
My lungs tightened, refusing to take in or expel oxygen. So glad we established that. I think I'll go now, see if I can't find some poison ivy to roll around in to top off this delightful afternoon. As I started to stand, Cooper caught my arm.
I'm not trying to insult you.
Then what are you trying to do? He shrugged.
Help.
So far you're doing a bang-up job. He grinned, because apparently he didn't understand English.
Hey, you're the one who insisted on an explanation.
I'd forgotten how frustrating he could be with his blasé attitude. It drove me crazy when I was trying to ensure we got an A on our history project. No wonder we'd never become closer friends.
How many girls have you seen Pecker with through the years?
His name is Mick.
What kind of name is that, anyway?
Cooper took a large swig of my soda.
It's like his parents got halfway through naming him and just stopped in the middle.
His parents met at a Rolling Stones concert. He's named after one of the greatest rock stars of all times, which I think is pretty cool.
Cool isn't the word I'd use, and you know way too much about him. Now answer the question.
I had to think past the ridiculous name discussion to remember his question. He averages 3 girls a semester. When Cooper's forehead crinkled, I clarified.